Hey Hoopheads, Brad here with another breakdown, and today I want to talk about the Raptors defense in their 130-120 win over the Thunder. The Raptors were led in this one by Norm Powell, who had 23 points on 9 of 11. OG had 21, 5 and 5 with 3 steals. Siakam had 21, 4 and 4 with 2 steals and a block. Gasol and Ibaka both had 15 points. A really well-rounded game overall for the Raptors. Let's get into it. On this play, as SGA gets the ball, he's going to pitch it to Steven Adams and then try to cut backdoor on OG. But check out the way OG moves his feet, and even though he can't see Adams, he still extends his hand out into the passing lane and just happens to deflect it. He's able to corral it as well, and that's a great steal. Great active hands from OG. Now off the inbound, the ball goes to the far side, and as the play develops, check out Serge Ibaka under the basket. He stops following Gallinari and stays under to help. The ball goes to the corner, then the top, and Lowry's all over Gallinari. As the shot clock runs out, he just has to fling it up, and that's quality defensive pressure there. And now as Steven Adams comes to set the screen for SGA, Marc Gasol drops nice and low, plus Serge is backing him up. SGA kicks it out, then it goes to the corner. Serge runs Gallo off the three-point line, and check out OG. He's actually guarding Chris Paul, who's way up near the half-court line. This allows OG to drift down and get the steal. He's going to give it to Lowry, who throws a nice bounce pass to Serge Ibaka, who finishes with the finger roll. Here, as Lowry negotiates the screening action, check out how big Marc Gasol makes himself. He gets his hands up and active, and that's something a lot of bigs just don't do. It leads to a deflection and a turnover. The Raps take it the other way. Siakam finds Serge again on the fast break for the easy bucket. Here, Serge and Norm are trying to deal with the screen and roll action, and as Muscala dives to the basket, Siakam has to rotate over to help. Muscala with the nice pass to the corner, and as it's in the air, OG is already rotating over, and Serge Ibaka is already rotating out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This lets him get there in time to run SGA off the line, and as SGA gets into the lane, check out Lowry moving into the passing lane. Shai has to change plans on the fly. He tries to drop the pass down low, but that doesn't work, and that's going to be a turnover. Off the inbound here, check out the Raptors negotiating this three-man action. OG and Norm with the nice split, and then Serge with the great containment. The ball goes back out to the top, and then Schroeder's going to pitch the ball to Muscala and run for the handoff. And as he gets the ball back, he's anticipating OG reaching in here, so he jumps like he's going to shoot it, but when no contact comes, he tries to throw the pass, and that's out of bounds. Another Thunder turnover. On this play, Serge Ibaka has trouble with the catch, and Dennis Schroeder's going to take it the other way, and check out Norm on this fast break. He has every excuse to just jog back and make sure he stays in front of his man, but instead he sprints and puts pressure on Schroeder from behind. Schroeder takes his eyes off the prize for a second. It goes out of bounds off him, and that doesn't go in the ledger as a steal or anything, but that's great pressure from both Norm and McCaw there to force the turnover. Here, check out Serge helping to contain Schroeder as Muscala slips the pick. Schroeder kicks it back out, and then as he attacks, check out McCaw pinching over to cut off the driving lane, plus Serge is cutting off the passing lane to the far corner. The Raptors are able to poke it loose. They take it down the other way, and in transition, the Thunder get cross-matched, and Serge Ibaka winds up with Terrence Ferguson on him. The Raptors swing it all the way around the perimeter to get him a nice entry pass, and Serge just powers straight through him for the and one. Now on this play, Schroeder finds Serge on him on the perimeter. He just ghosts him. He kicks it to the corner, and then McCaw with the closeout forces him baseline, and then Gasol and Rondé just form a wall at the side of the lane to snuff out Diallo. Here, the Raptors are trying to keep Rondé from having to guard the primary ball handler, so McCaw switches hard onto Chris Paul here. And then as Schroeder comes up for the handoff, McCaw switches back onto him, does a great job of getting over the screen. The Thunder try to flip the handoff and give it to him going the other way, but Gasol with the nice pressure, able to poke the ball away here. Terrence Davis unfortunately gives it right back, but nice work on that initial D. Here, the Thunder trying to go quickly. Patton sets the screen for Schroeder, who drops him the pass. Probably could have hit Gallo for the open three, but instead Patton tries to put it on the deck. The Raptors swarm him, and Pascal picks it up. He's going to take it down to the other end with a little shovel pass for OG, who hammers it home with two hands. And now on this play, the Thunder are going to work it to the corner to Darius Bazley. He tries to go at Lowry a little bit, and look at Terrence Davis coming over with just the threat of a double team. And as soon as Bazley picks up his dribble, Terrence is going to turn and find his man. The Thunder kick it out and then work it around to SGA, who attacks Serge, gives it to Bazley, and as Bazley drives, Lowry steps in to take the charge. And that's the kind of effort you might expect to fall off with the Raptors up 20 plus, but not with Kyle Lowry. Even as the Raptors were building their first half lead up to 30 points, you could see where there were some cracks in the defense. The Raptors were really packing the paint and leaving some wide open threes as a result. They also had a little bit of trouble setting their defense in transition, which led to some open looks. And on this play, as Muscala comes up to set the screen, he's going to slip it, and OG and McCaw have a bit of a miscommunication. OG thinks they're going to switch, and McCaw doesn't. This lets Chris Paul get into the teeth of the defense. He kicks it to the far side, then to the corner. Nice pump fake. And the Thunder finish off the first half, shaving 12 points off the Raptors' lead. And now in the second half, the Thunder work it around the perimeter till the ball gets to Gallo. He tries to attack, but he's met by 2 defenders. He drops it to Ferguson, who's also met by 2 defenders, and you can really see how the Raptors are clogging the lane. Now off the ensuing inbound, only 7 seconds left, and the Raptors shut down this initial action. As Gallo gets the ball, Serge pressures way up on him because the shot clock is almost gone. He tries to fling it up, and that's just nice sustained pressure from the Raps. And I want to take a second to admire the Raptors' positioning on this screen and roll. As Chris Paul comes off the screen, OG is going to rotate over to cut off Muscala. Check out Gasol with his arms nice and big so that a cross-court pass to the corner isn't there. Plus Lowry is lurking around the passing lanes. Paul throws it up to the top to Ferguson, and as he drives into traffic, Lowry with the reach around to poke it, and that's going to be out off the Thunder too. Here is the Thunder bring it up. Lowry tries to apply a bit of pressure, and that gets him switched onto Gallo. Schroeder likes the mismatches, so he's going to pull it back out. Gallo posts up, but Gasol and Lowry switch off ball. Gallo immediately takes Gasol out to the three-point line, takes him off the dribble, but Pascal is there on the backside of the defense, and he absolutely smothers the shot. Huge weak side defense, and it's nice to have a small forward that big when your 2 7-footers are out on the perimeter. Here, Chris Paul attacks really quickly, breaking the defense. And as the ball goes out to the top here, check out how straight up Serge is. That's just a bad closeout. That gives Schroeder a fairly open 3. He drains it, and as the Thunder shots started falling in the second half, they really became dangerous. On this play, as Norm turns it over, check out Patrick McCaw booking it back on defense. A really nice contest here on the fast break layup by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And now on this one, some pretty solid containment by the Raptors. We get a nice closeout by McCaw, and then OG and McCaw switch, and I want to watch McCaw here. He's going to follow Gallo into the lane, which isn't a problem on its own, but he pauses there in the lane, and then he turns his back completely to the ball as the pass goes out to the top. He has no idea where it is, so he's not rotating to Chris Paul in time. As a result, Chris Paul ghosts him on the closeout and gets the easy layup, and that's just not the best awareness from Patrick McCaw. On this play, as Muscala sets the screen on McCaw, Marc Gasol is going to get switched onto Chris Paul. And with Gasol on a much faster point guard, check out how far over the weak side defense is shifted. And now McCaw is going to come down and help, and as the pass goes out to the top, Terrence Davis doesn't rotate out to him. Instead, Patrick McCaw is left to recover, and if Muscala gets an open 3, so be it. And if that had been Gallo at the top, instead of Muscala, Terrence Davis would have rotated up, and Dennis Schroeder probably would have got a wide open 3, and that's why it's important to know your personnel on the other team. Now with the Raptors lead at 12 to start the fourth quarter, we see Dennis Schroeder. He's going to come off this screen, anticipating contact again, gets himself in the air. Another turnover, this time it's live ball, and OG gets an easy bucket at the other end. And now we see some nice perimeter defense from the Raptors, some good switching, containing the ball here. OG getting really low in his stance to cut off Darius Bazley. And then as Bazley pulls it out at the top, we're going to see McCaw try and gamble on this pass, and that's going to throw the whole defense out of whack. OG and Davis have to shift down. The ball goes back out to Bazley, and OG is just too straight up on this closeout. Bazley gets into the defense and finds Schroeder in the corner. He misses the shot, but the Raptors are just lucky there. And now on the very next trip down, OG gets backdoored by Bazley. No active hands in the passing lane this time. And then just a minute later, OG goes for the pump fake and gives up the wide open mid-ranger. And that's just bad defensive discipline, and I think OG might have been a little tired in this stretch. He played the most minutes out of any Raptor tonight. On this play, Norm finds himself on Gallo in transition, and as the pass comes over the top, check out OG and Norm switching really quickly. Then as Gallo goes to work on OG, Gasol's going to come over with the double, and I don't really know if that was necessary because OG's a great one-on-one defender, and coming over with the double team just gives up a wide open layup. And now as the Thunder are going to work it around to Gallo, Patrick McCaw with the nice hands to strip it away. He takes it down the other way and finds OG with the nice bounce pass. OG with the spin move and the finish. The Raps are up 21 with 6.5 minutes left, and that should be good enough, right? Wrong. Here as the Raptors defend the screen and roll, Serge comes up to cut off Chris Paul. That means Siakam has to rotate over to Muscala. That leaves Gallo open in the corner. And that's a tricky play because if Serge Ibaka drops down farther, that lets Siakam stay in the corner, but you know Chris Paul's mid-range game is on point, so you're kind of picking your poison and hoping for a miss here. Now Serge tries to put the ball on the deck. That's going to be a turnover. The Thunder take it down the other way to get the open 3 for Schroeder. The lead is cut down to 15. And then here in transition, I want to pay attention to Serge Ibaka and OG Anunoby. Right now, neither of the guys that they're supposed to be guarding are a threat, but OG still tells Serge to go out on Shai. And while OG can guard Muscala, Serge cannot guard Shai. Serge gets absolutely blown by, Shai gets the and one, and you just can't give up that easy switch in transition. If that was Siakam instead of Serge, sure, go for it, but you gotta know your personnel better than that. Now off the made free throw, Schroeder is pressing. He gets a nice steal on McCaw. McCaw with a good challenge there on the first shot, but the brutal brutal foul on the second shot, giving up the and one again. And now more pressure. This time the ball finds OG with Chris Paul bothering him. OG's handle is not tight enough to deal with that. They get the steal from behind and go down to the other end and score. And in the span of 2 minutes, the Raptors lead went from 21 to 7 on the back of some boneheaded plays and some nice Thunder defense. And now a couple minutes later, the first three Raptors do a nice job of getting back, but you can see OG and Serge both coming back on the strong side of the floor. And meanwhile, check out where Gallinari is, and you can probably guess where this is headed. A nice and one finish. But fortunately for the Raptors, they were able to save the game with their offense. Pascal Siakam with the tough finish here, high off the glass. And then Lowry with Gallinari switched onto him, goes straight at him, powers through him. And that's the kind of Lowry that Raptors fans like to see. None of this foul hunting BS, just straight power and finishing. Then with about 2 minutes left, we see the Raptors making the conscious decision to leave Mike Muscala open, cutting off the other avenues of scoring. He misses. And then on the other end, Lowry with another nice move to get the pull-up in the lane. And after an exclamation point from Norm Powell, that's going to be the ball game. The Raptors get another win to go to 26-14 and continue their quest for the 2 seed in the East. This was Marc Gasol's first game back from injury, so nice to see him with 15 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and a plus 16 for the team. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Raptors defense in the comments.